Today, we're gonna talk about the 10 unluckiest people of all time. Number 10. Kostas Mitsotakis. In 2012, a small village in Spain consists of 250 people, mostly poor farmers, won a ticket in the lottery's huge prize of $950 million. That jackpot was a big deal for the poor and unemployed villagers. Each person received at least $130,000. But one unlucky man named Kostas Mitsotakis was left out from the list. Everyone won the lottery but him. However, he took that very sportingly and cheered everyone for being happier than ever before. Number 9. Anne Hodges. On November 30th, 1954, Anne Hodges was having a nice quiet nap in her home at Alabama, USA, when a freaking meteorite fell from the sky right on her and badly bruised a large portion of her body. She is the only known person to ever be injured by an extraterrestrial object. Can you even imagine the odds needed for that? It's like 1 in billions. Number 8. Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on business for his employer Mitsubishi Heavy Industries when the city was bombed at 8:15 a.m. on August 6, 1945. After surviving the atomic bomb with a couple of scratches on his body, he decided to return to his hometown Nagasaki. But the day he went to work, America dropped another bomb, this time on Nagasaki. People on the internet are calling him unlucky, but I say this guy is the luckiest person to ever live. He survived the nuclear attack twice, the only person to do so. Number 7. Robert Todd Lincoln, the son of a highly celebrated US President, Abraham Lincoln, is perhaps the most unlucky person to have around, especially if you're a president. He has been with 3 US presidents at the time of their assassination. The night when John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln, Robert Todd was with him. By 1881, Lincoln became a lawyer that qualified him for a national office, and he became Secretary of War under the newly inaugurated James A. Garfield. That July, Lincoln was scheduled to travel with the president by the train, but the trip never took off. Before Lincoln and Garfield's train could leave the station, a guy named Charles Guiteau shot the president. But it didn't end there. 2 decades later, his bad luck returned to kill another president. This time, the victim was President William McKinley. Number 7. Violet Jessup. This woman was present on 2 of the most disastrous ship sinkings in history. She survived both the RMS Titanic and the HMHS Britannic wreckage in 1912 and 1916 respectively. Not only that, but she was on board the RMS Olympic when it collided with a British warship in 1911. She lived long after that and died at the age of 84 due to congestive heart failure in 1971. Number 5. Jason and Jerry Lawrence, an English couple, have some truly bad memories from their vacations. The couple took a trip to New York and were present there at the time of 9/11, which certainly is the worst terrorist attack on US soil. After witnessing such a horrific event, they probably decided to never go back to New York for a vacation. In 2005, they decided to take a trip to London. A London underground suicide attack took place, which is the worst in their history. But it didn't stop there. In 2008, they went on a trip again, this time in Mumbai. Again, a terrorist attack followed on November 26, 2008, which led to the deaths of about 160 people, which is the worst terrorist attack in the history of India. We just hope that these 2 king and queen of bad luck never take another trip to any other city. Number 4. Fran Salak. In January 1962, Salak was traveling by train from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik. The train smashed into an ice river, killing all 17 passengers except him, as he escaped from it with minor scrapes and bruises. The following year, he was traveling by airplane, and suddenly the door blew away from the cockpit, forcing him out of the plane. Although 19 people were killed, he suffered only minor injuries and somehow landed in a haystack. In 1966, he survived a bus crash. In 1970, he managed to escape from his car covered in flames due to faulty pump. In 1973, another of Salak's cars caught fire. He again escaped with small injuries. In 1995, he was hit by a city bus. In 1996, he drove off a cliff to escape an oncoming truck, then landed on a tree and watched his car explode 300 feet below him. But after surviving all these terrible accidents, he won $1 million in the lottery, which is why he could be seen as one of the luckiest and unluckiest men on the planet. Number 3. Roy Sullivan. This is the guy named Roy Sullivan, the myth, the legend. Between 1942 and 1977, Sullivan was hit by lightning on 7 different occasions and survived all of them. He is recognized by Guinness World Records as the person struck by lightning more recorded times than any other human being. But he wasn't thankful to God for sparing his life 7 times, as he shot himself in the head in 1983 at the age of 71. Number 2. Jeanne Rogers is clearly one of the unluckiest people who's ever lived. She once fell out from a ship into water, struck by lightning twice, attacked by a bat, beaten by her husband almost to death, and attacked by muggers. After surviving these accidents, Rogers was asked if she's scared of accidental deaths. She simply replied, "Dying doesn't scare me, but living scares the crap out of me." Number 1. John Line is known as one of the unluckiest people in the world. He has survived 16 accidents that would normally kill a person. He's been hit by lightning, ran over by a delivery van, hit by a bus, nearly drowned to death, propelled by a catapult smashing 8 of his teeth, several car crashes, and rolled over by a rock in a mine. But this guy has survived all of these fatal accidents like a boss.